Hare Krishna. So is my voice clear online?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
My
Yeah,
voice
Prabhuji.
clear online? I'm not able to hear them, but you have to put on. Because I think my speaker on the speaker here. Yeah.
Now the series, 3 Saturdays, the series on 3 gunas.
There. So it's also a Bhakti Shastri, class of Bhakti Shastri devotees of the 14th chapter, but also it's a class, and we not just take from Bhagavad Gita, and also take from Uddhav Gita. So Uddhav Gita is a further explanation of Bhagavad Gita. There. So and now why these 3 gunas are so important to know. So why this 3 gunas are so important? If you see, first 6 chapter Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is all about doing your work, giving up doership and fruitive mentality. Middle 6 chapter is Bhakti Yoga. And last 6 chapters is about the gunas. That is Jnana Yoga. So generally, we have an idea that anything you do in material world, you will be miserable. But if you rise to Satoguna, you will not be miserable. It becomes enlightening. So how to live in this world is to live in Satoguna. See, for example, if you have to go to Delhi, generally people will catch flight, Bangaloreans will catch flight. But it takes more time to go from Bangalore airport to Delhi airport than to go from Sarjapur road to Bangalore airport. Right? People fear going to airport than going from one airport to another airport. Isn't it? One person dropped his friend to airport. He couldn't reach home, but that his friend reached the next city. So airport is like mode of goodness. Reaching airport is like mode of goodness. Crossing the traffic of passion and ignorance of Bangalore. And once you reach airport, then you can fly to transcendence and reach the spiritual world. So that is why we have to know about the gunas and travel at time where the traffic is less. Right? There, travel at time. So I generally prefer to travel in Bangalore either morning 5 a.m. or afternoon 1 o'clock. Morning, evening travel is Hari Bol Hari. There. The same way, gunas create a traffic in our journey of spiritual life. So if you know the gunas, the whole science, you can very swiftly progress in a spiritual life. Because it's due to the gunas that a person gets bewildered. We say everything is Maya. What's Maya? Devi Esha Gunmaya. And how does Maya bewilder us? How does Maya bewilder us? Yes, through the three gunas. All the three gunas are Dena of Maya Devi. Satagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. And Krishna is beyond the gunas. Oh, yes, highlighted. Yeah. So it's about the gunas there. So if you understand now, many times we are not able to understand why are we behaving in a certain way. Why are we behaving in a certain way? It becomes difficult to understand. And to overcome our conditionings becomes difficult. So whole of philosophy of Krishna consciousness you put in one line is about rising from passion, ignorance to goodness into pure goodness. And all other things, whatever we are doing is doing that only. If you want to put Krishna consciousness in a technical language, the technical language is rise from passion and ignorance to goodness and from goodness to pure goodness. There's a whole technical explanation of Krishna consciousness. And based on these gunas, you can technically explain anything in this world. Why certain people behave the way they behave, why the anarthas trouble us the way they trouble, why we behave the way we behave. So everything gunas, and whole Bhagavatam, the prayers you will see of the devotees is about the gunas. It's about the gunas. They will talk a lot about. Even creation, a lot of gunas are talked about. So guna is a very fundamental subject matter if you have to study Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And guna is a fundamental aspect to understand if we want to become a steady devotee. There. And many places, even NOI preface about what it writes. First, one has to come to the level of mode of goodness, control one's mind and senses, come to the level of goodness. Then, how to make spiritual progress will be revealed. So, whole now, what happens when we do not understand this knowledge of gunas? We don't know how to apply spirituality also. We try something of pure goodness where we are struggling with ignorance. We try to reach pure goodness while we are struggling with mode of ignorance. It will not work out. And that's why guidance is required to slowly rise us from ignorance to passion, from passion to goodness, and then from goodness to pure goodness. So it's a paradigm, shifting. Now, one thing, till the time you're in ignorance, you cannot know you're in ignorance. Only when you rise in passion, you realize that it's thoda ignorance hai. Till the time you're in passion, not realize you're in passion. When some goodness will come, then you will realize there is passion. There. So we can't judge. Like for example, many devotees just come and sleep in the japa. But you tell Prabhuji you're sleeping. Oh, I was sleeping here. How many of experience of that? I personally went through sleeping in the japa, but I never realized I'm sleeping. But when you're in ignorance, you don't realize you're in ignorance. Same way, whole japa you're thinking, but you don't realize in thinking. Only when you come in goodness, you realize that I was thinking whole japa. There. So the gradual elevation of modes. Now currently the society is going to mode of ignorance. They don't want to get married, don't want to have live-in relationships, don't want to go. So whole is going. So further society goes in passion. Oh, we have to work hard. What is about this deva? Deva will work harder. No, like they see another the so they work hard. So passion. But then after, now you see America is very affluent. People don't work there. Like New York is a place for homeless stay people and things. So people think already we have so much money, what is the need to work? Just enjoy, live in relationships, all drugs, all that culture. So as passion is not elevated to goodness, then will drag down to ignorance there. So that's how the human society is elevating. And in a place where passion and ignorance are prominent, you talk about do bhakti to Krishna, be good, talk about solo, ये पागल हो गया क्या? बाबा बन गया क्या यहाँ पे? Right? In hostel, when you go and you talk about spirituality, boys will make fun of you. Why? Because passion ignorance is high. And whereas devotees you will talk about now, some once my Switzer master was telling, it's austerity for me to talk about body and soul. Why? Because this is to speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so sweet. So somebody is in pure goodness, to talk about goodness will be difficult for him. And those who are in passion, for them also talk about goodness will be difficult. So the point is, so why people behave the way they behave? You can all explain to the gunas there. And how to have. So first today is a session we are going to discuss from Bhagavad Gita, the Gita, how these gunas affect us. Next Saturday we'll talk about how to come out of the gunas. And the third Saturday we'll talk about the role of good japa to come out of the gunas. So consecutive there. And I will also bring concept from the 17 and 18 chapter, because now 14 chapter we're reading, but 17, 18 chapters, a lot of concept of the gunas, the charity in modes, the action in modes, understanding in three modes. So it has a lot of understanding in the three gunas there. And if you understand about the gunas, you can see the whole how the whole world is working. Now the first question comes: why the gunas are created? Why the gunas are created? Why Krishna created the gunas there? So Maya Devi first had the pradhana. Pradhana is a state where gunas are in equilibrium state. Rajogun, Tamogun, Satogun, they are in equilibrium state. Then Krishna glances, and then the gunas get agitated. Because of agitation of the gunas, the whole creation happens. Now, why Krishna does it? Because for a soul to enjoy in this material world, he can only enjoy through the gunas. So, how Maya Devi catches a person, how the gunas catches a person, the moment you want to enjoy, the three gunas will catch you. There. For example, this monkey. How the Madari catches a monkey? The monkey keeps his, he will put some chana and there will be potli. And monkey will keep the hand in the potli, matki, and his hand will get caught. Because while putting it was like this, but when you hold the chana, it's like this. Now it will not come out only. Now what he has to do, monkey, if he is to get rid of this? Just leave the chana. You are out of it. Same way, why we are bound in this world? We want to enjoy the three gunas, which is chana. So Maya Devi, as soon as you want to enjoy Maya, she will catch you. Till the time you don't want to enjoy the product of gunas, she can't catch you. The moment you want to enjoy, she will catch you. Like the monkey kept there. So this is how the gunas do. Now, every one of us has been built of the gunas, of a subhava, impressions. From lifetime immemorial is built of the gunas. There. From the time the creation has happened. No, not this creation. Mahavishnu creates every time, right? So many of creations, the gunas have been with us, stored in the form of impressions, which is called swabhava. And all of us are made of those swabhavas. And that's not easy to change. They're in form of the impressions. And that's what Krishna asked. Arjuna asked Krishna, Krishna, how can I come out the gunas? And Krishna explains it's so simple. The moment you don't identify with your subtle body, you're out of the gunas. And you are a liberated soul. And the subtle body is made of the gunas, the way person thinks, the way person false ego is, the way person's intellectual is all made of the gunas. So the science of self-realization is to come out of this gunas. So, and therefore it's a very, very important topic for devotees to understand as a part of the Jnana Yoga. So Jnanis have talked a lot about it. And Jnani's way of to come out of the gunas is by analysis. But Bhaktas also talk about gunas. Bhagavatam talk a lot about gunas. But Bhakta's way to come out of gunas is bhakti. Bhakta's way of coming out of the gunas is bhakti. Because by jnana, the analysis process is paralysis by analysis. Sometimes devotees go into analyzing their anarthas and they become paralyzed. It's called paralysis by analysis. So neither you pakka jnanis also, and you try to do jnana yoga and bhakti yoga, you get frustrated. But the way to come out of gunas is service to spiritual master and bhakti. And because of that, one can easily come out of the gunas there. So now let us see how the gunas affect us. So are you finding this topic interesting? The first 5-10 minutes I just took to create a interest because it's a technical topic. There, it's modes engineering. And in fact, this should be a branch of science called modes engineering. And that can do much good to the human society. Whole psychology is present, whole people behavior patterns are present, even psychological problems can be solved if modes engineering is solved. And also we will do mode syntax to know which mode you are in. How much percentage of goodness, passion, ignorance is there, we'll be able to calculate. So there's something called mode index, which is prepared by Sundar Shamprabhu there. So we will calculate that mode index also, कि हमारा कितना गुण, कितना percentage किस गुण का है, right there. Now let us see the symptoms as given in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna in the gunas. And some cutting will happen, so please take it. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. I put my laptop in black and white mode to not have a strain on the eyes, to reduce the effect of the gunas on the eyes. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Param bhuya pravakshami jnananam jnanamuttamam yajgyata manaya sarve param siddhim ito gataha. Again, I shall declare you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. By becoming fixed in knowledge, one can attain to a transcendental nature like my own. The established one is not born at the time of creation, but this is the time of death. If you know this knowledge, you can go back to Godhead. Karanam guna sangasya sadiyoni janmasu. So what is the cause for birth? Cycle of birth and death? Karanam guna sangasya. The association of modes is the reason for Karanam guna sangasya. There. The total material substance called Brahma is the source of birth, and that Brahman that I am pregnant, making possible the birth of all beings, was son of Bharat. It should be understood that all the species of life, the son of Kunti, you come. Yes. You come for a special topic today. You will like this topic. It should be understood that all the species of life a son of Kunti, are made possible at birth in this material nature, and that I'm the seed giving father. And material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, love. When the internal living entity comes in contact with nature, for mighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by this modes. He becomes, what is the conditioning? What is the bondage in this world? Conditioning by the modes, the gunas. And every one of us sitting here are conditioned by the gunas. Power of habits is about the gunas. You do certain activity, you get habituated to do it. Why? Because you associate it with that guna. Then that guna catches you. That guna catches you. There. Now Rajoguna catches you faster, Rajoguna Tamaguna, than Satoguna. That's why habit and goodness will take time. But habit and ignorance takes very fast. Passion little lesser fast, and goodness takes more time. However, we can confront finding difficulty to. So matter nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, it becomes conditioned to these modes. And now Krishna talk about the characteristics of this mode. Hear it very carefully. Because if you understand this characters which Krishna is giving about the three gunas, you'll be able to identify which guna you are affected with. But even you identify, it will only help if you take shelter of Krishna after identifying the guna. Otherwise, it becomes paralysis by, oh, I have so much more of ignorance, what should I do? I have so much more of passion, what should I do? It becomes paralysis by analysis. Because what can elevate a person? The guna, the sangha. The good sangha, good association of saintly people cuts away the bondage of all the three gunas. Because even you are somebody's in passion, he wants to change. That mode of passion won't let him change. How many have experienced that? But let it. But if you associate with devotees in mode of goodness, just by their association of passion will change. That's why love matra sadhu sangha sara shastra koi. So it is due to sadhu sangha only you can change the gunas, because the person conditioned by that gunas is habituated to work according to that guna. Is habituated to work according to that guna. There. So, so that's the whole point of it, that the gunas, they are binding person. So karanam guna sangasya sat asat yoni janmasu. Same way, how do people develop bad habits? By bad association. Even people from Brahmana families, very good families, they come, but they start drinking, taking drugs. They associate with the people with lower gunas, with lower gunas, they shrink down. So association is also important. Now, what is the characteristics of somebody who's in mode of goodness? See, goodness and ignorance look similar. Goodness and ignorance looks quite similar. So we shouldn't mistake ignorance to be goodness. Somebody is too passive, looks in goodness. Goodness is different and ignorance is different. So what your sign is? Tat Sattvam Nirmala Nirmalat Vat. Sattvam is pure, Nirmal. Nirmalatvat. Prakasham is enlightening. The Sattva Guna is pure and enlightening, anamayam, and without any sinful reaction. Sukh Sangena Badanati. But how this mode of goodness binds? Badanati is used. Badanati is a word for binding. Sukh Sangena. Because you get sukha, you get bound in this way. Like many pious people you go, please take to Krishna Vajan. They're happy in life. तुम ही जप करो हरे कृष्णा. सुख संगेन बदनाति. If you have to do preaching, go to Pune, there's a Shukravar pet, all Brahmanas live. Go there and preach. Nobody will take to chanting Hare Krishna. And Jnana Sangena Janagaha. And Jnana brings a pride in them. Oh, sinless one, the mode of goodness being purer than others, Nirmalatvat, is illuminating and frees one from all sinful reaction. Those situated in that mode becomes conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. So by a sense of happiness and knowledge, they become conditioned. So is goodness desired or not desired? Desired. But one should not like you should go to airport or not. But after going to airport, you miss the flight, what is the use? You to again come back, right? So you go to airport to catch a flight. You just the goal is not to go to airport. But without going to airport, you cannot catch a flight. Recently, one plane got accident in Baramati, Ajit Pawar. It was a small runway. There was no proper systems. Visibility was low, and he landed somewhere else, and they died. So airport is important, right? Airports. So going to mode of goodness is important. You can't land an aeroplane on Sarjapur Road. Right? I think future they will have to make some runway over the road. so, so you do. And the problem of Kali Yuga Bangalore traffic is going to airport is difficult. Same in Kali Yuga. During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He got in love of God very immediately because the Sattva was very prominent. And Kali Yuga, Rajoguna, Tamoguna so prominent. To reach airport is so difficult. To reach mode of goodness is very, very difficult because it's congested with the Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And whole energy goes in reaching the mode of goodness. And which are the characteristic example proper rights? And such a person think I am wiser than others. The effect of developing the mode of goodness is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. So for them to take a spiritual philosophy of Krishna consciousness, somebody explain them very nicely. Then only they will take it. They won't accept. There. A man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by material. One example I would give. I'll just stop the recording and then I'll give you that example. If somebody stop the recording. Stop the recording. But some people listening YouTube. Okay, then don't stop. I'll give the example at the end of the class. I cannot give that example in YouTube. There. So, difficulty here is that, the represented type is a Brahmana who is supposed to be situated in mode of goodness. This sense of happiness due to understanding that in the mode of goodness, one is more or less free from sinful reaction. Some devotees come. They don't have problem with lust. They don't have problem. Generally, boys come, they will have some problem with controlling the senses with lust. But many of the boys coming from Brahmana families will not have that problem. Why? Because of their association mode of goodness. That problem will not be there. But somebody coming from a very passionate and ignorant environment, they will have high conditionings of lust also there. So because why? A Brahmana is free from, more or less free from sinful reaction. And that's a person come to mode of goodness. But the problem is, he feels I'm better than others, even better than devotees. I already know so much. So he doesn't become humble to receive knowledge. For him to gain bhakti becomes difficult at that point. If it is material mode of goodness. See, this all three binds like a iron chain, silver chain, and gold chain. So how many of you want your two hands bound by gold chain? See, gold is 1.5 lakh per tola now. Get a 1 kg का chain, 15 lakh की chain. नहीं 15 नहीं, डेढ़ 1.5 करोड़ की चेन, 1 kg का चेन आपके बांध दे, 1.5 करोड़ की चेन से आपके हाथ बांध दे, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू विल बी हैप्पी? पर 1.5 करोड़ देखते रहोगे. You will keep seeing the 1.5 crore, but your hands are bound if you have to go to the washroom. You'll not be happy with that 1.5 crore ka chain because your hands are bound. It is bound only. So you're bound by the chain. That's a golden chain. It's mode of goodness. It looks nice, but you are bound in this material life. An example of scientists and philosopher. There are many, many scientists in ISC. They're just happy researching. They don't have nothing to do with God. They're very happy researching anything. They don't mind. The real scientist is a person who is like our. I went to meet Somnath sir. Our 2-3 experience with him. He's a very now presently there were two PSLV rockets. They failed. 1,000 crore ka nuksan. Yeah, there. So because he was telling, we went to meet him on 10th of January. 14th Jan was the launch there. So we just, when he was telling the launch is there, you go to the new director. Previously he was the chairman, but there's a rotation, so he was changed the chairman, so he was there. And he's a very simple person. The first time when he was chairman, we went to meet him. He said, "Sir, आपने तो चांद को rocket को you have sent to the moon." He said, "No, it's a team effort. It's not my work." Right? So person of mode of goodness will not like to take credit. क्यों? निष्काम कर्मी होगा. It's a sign for person in mode of goodness. There. Person in mode of passion will like to take credit. हाँ, हमने किया है. हमसे बड़ा कौन है? There. Then we brought a lot of food for him, a lot of prasad for him. He said, "I'm not interested in eating. I'm not much interested in eating. I like to read books." It's simple. That's how the brain has energy. Somebody has a lot of interest in eating, his brain will not have much energy. Somebody is able to think and think because his food habits are simple. The Brahmanas like prasad, but they eat whatever is required, and more energy is for thinking. So most people you will find who are very brainy people, the food diet will be simple with it. And the speech he gave a speech last year and it was so wonderful. There, it looking like somebody is giving Krishna conscious lecture only. That there is no happiness in this material world. You think all children have come. I don't know. Do you there, Dinesh? No. So whole device session ho gaya pura. Okay. But then everything has its limitations. Mode of goodness also has its limitation. There. So what you can see how people, scientists, successful scientists are actually in mode of goodness. And he was telling, see, what you people are doing is very good. He said that one colleague in ISRO, his daughter was living with some other faith person. Then she thought, I will change to other faith only. And that person was crying tears. She was telling, what you are doing is very important. Otherwise, Hindus don't know what they are practicing and they are converting to other. There. So he was greatly feeling about it. And it thinks, yes, yes, we need your help. If you speak, more people could be reach out there. So people they feel so much, and that's why he helped us also so much. So this is mode of goodness. So let's see. The different ways of binding the Jivan theories of the three, Sattva produces knowledge and happiness. Contrary to suffering. Anaya means literally means health. If you come in mode of goodness, you'll become healthy also. You will have a peaceful sleep. Then naturally your health will also be coming in mode of goodness. Okay. Arising from his purity, and you will eat food in mode of goodness. Naturally, you will be healthy. You like food in mode of goodness. So accordingly, it is said, Prakasha Sukharanam Sattam The cause of illumination, happiness is sattva. If you want happiness in life, even material happiness, come to sattva. In passion, you feel happiness is there, but you never get it. You in passion, you endeavor for a lot of happiness, but you never get it. But actually, in sattva guna, you automatically feel happy, even materially. What is your spiritual happiness there? And you can see to the degree you come to sattva, you feel quite satisfied, peaceful there. Tada rajas tamo bhava kam labha chete etanadana sitam satve tasidati. When rajogun tamogun comes, what happens? Sitam satve tasidati. You see some devotee always smiling. They're happy and content. Devotee. Some brahmachari you see, देख के लगता है कि they are in सत्वगुण and they are happy. How many people feel that? And that's why you feel inspired also there. So why? The Anantavritti is done. So now Sattva has manifested and you feel little happy there. So moreover, Sattva, which is conjoined with the aspect of knowledge and happiness, bind with the jiva the conception that one is happy or knowledgeable. So knowledge means the knowledge of the real nature of a material object, and happiness means tranquility of the senses in the body. Tranquility means senses are shant, they are not hangry. In the association with those kind of knowledge and happiness, the engagement in actions produce future bodies, which are a means to experience that result. And one will not get liberation through sattva. Because goodness is contaminated with passion ignorance. Because the sense of comfort is in ignorance, and sense of pride leads to passion. So it's not pure, it's contaminated. That's why it's binding. Now, you want to know about Rajoguna? You're ready to understand about Rajoguna? Yes. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Krishna Sangha Samudbhavam. Udbhavam. Udbhavam means is produced. Raga, born of desire or lust. Vidhi Trishna. Trishna means angry. Sangha Samudbhavam. So due to the Sangha Samudbhavam Rajoguna, person has a lot of hankering and desire. Tandiv Dhati Kontae and fruitive activity. Karum Sangena Dehina. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desire and longing. What? Ragatmakam and Krishna. O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied entity is bound to material fruitive action. Baladev is right. O son of Kunti, the Rajas, consisting of mutual attraction within man and woman, and which gives rise to longing for the unattained, and attachment to the attained, binds a jiva with attachment to action. And Prabhupada, the first line, Papa, right? The mode of passion is characterized by attraction between man and woman. So if you want to know how much passion you have, you can see from this line. That's why to give up lust is not easy. That is a sign of Rajoguna, Prakriti, there. So the attraction between man and woman is actually a sense of Rajoguna. From that attraction, only person wants to have a more wealth, home, so many things. The desire comes because of this attraction only. This becomes the fulcrum point of Rajoguna, the field of activity. Woman has attraction for man, and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion increases, one develops a hankering for material enjoyment. But first it comes as attraction and then comes as a hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. Then further he wants, see how it is happening. He wants some honor in society and he wants to have a happy family with 9 children, wife and house. Why? It is in mode of passion. And these are the products of the modes of passion. So I said, be ready for cutting. So this is the mode of passion. There. Happy family, children, wife, on that. Now, taking this, one should not go to mode of ignorance. Now some grasta may read this, okay, there, so abhi pura sab chhod do. Then it is mode of. So whole grasta ashram is made that you purify the mode of passion by taking responsibility. The Krishna has made, and that's why grasta ashram, so many rituals, so much expenditure, so many things. Person says, "Arey, हाँ फंस गए." There. So that purifies the mode of passion in the person. And that's how the scriptures have given it that lawfully you purify passion. But now you see those cases. Actually, I feel very pity when I see the boys who had girlfriend, the girlfriend left them now. They feel to commit suicide. More than alcohol they suffer. Because this passion is there, but since you did not do it according to scripture's regulation, you suffer a lot. And because already you touch a woman, you made a relationship with a girl without marriage, then what happens? That passion is aggravated, and that girl leaves you. That passion will make you chutney. But whereas in a grasta ashram, husband and wife come together, the passion slowly converts to goodness if one follows the dharma of the grasta ashram. There. So that's how person elevated. And that's why after grasta ashram comes vanaprastha ashram. That do austerities to rise into mode of goodness there. So as long as one is hankering after these things, he has to just think about what is there in a female body, same as a male body. All elements are same. But it is the engineering of Maya Devi which produces that attraction to keep the living entity in this world. And that's how Maya Devi catch a person in the Triguna. And it's not only male female, any prakriti item you enjoy, any of the senses you want to enjoy, whether it is tongue, nose, eyes, sense of touch, any of the items you enjoy, you're bound by prakriti. You're bound by prakriti. Like for example, one time brahmacharis are going in train and some congregation devotee brought juice. They drank 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass, 4 glass, 5 glass, and congregation also amazed, "अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया?" Then they came back to the ashram, and one devotee in the night, full, the blood also start coming, and then they admitted in the hospital next day. And the devotee doctor came. बोले, "प्रभु जी आप NY classes में तो हमको सिखा रहे थे कि जीवा वेगम उदर उपस्थ वेगम, थोड़ा you could have control it." So any vega, any sense you try to enjoy, the result is suffering. So wherever you stay, graha tako, mani taka, sada bole, hari tako. And you have uncontrolled senses, you will suffer. This is the whole point of it there. And these gunas won't leave with the ashram. The only solution is to elevate by Mahasangha, Mahaseva, Guru Pada Ashraya. Then these gunas elevate. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smarnam, Pada, Sevanam. There. So as long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. So why see, just think. At the end of the day, after working hard, what you get? Few pieces of chapati. And sometimes those who work hard, they do not get chapati also on time. Now, why do a person work hard? For honor and prestige only, na? Person is working hard in material life just for some honor and prestige. There. So because of that, person not able to understand because of the effect of the Rajaguna. There. Therefore, it is clearly stated that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activity and thus becomes bound by such activity. In order to please his wife, children, society, and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of the mode of passion. So, what we are advancing today in mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? आज की डेट में अगर आप साधु बन गए, अरे भिखारी बन गया, इसका पैसा नहीं है, आप ब्राह्मण बन जाओ, ब्राह्मण मतलब जॉब वॉब छोड़ दो पूरा, डिपेंड ऑन कृष्णा, अरे तुम तो पैरासाइट बन गए. एंड पीपल थिंक आर नॉट थिंक बिकॉज नॉलेज जिसके पास पैसा है, वाह 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 बहुत अच्छे आदमी है करके, और जिसके पास पैसा नहीं, अरे किसी काम का नहीं. साइन ऑफ मोड ऑफ passion into the society. Vedic society, a Brahmana may be Phatichar also. Phatichar means he has no much wealth. But if the Brahmana has knowledge and right character, people will respect. And that's why Vishwamit Muni comes. Dashrath gave his whole throne to Vishwamit Muni. And they come. So there was a lot of, because goodness is higher than passion. There. So Rajas is said to be identical with the mutual affection between man and woman, since that affection is both the cause and effect of increased rajas. Moreover, rajas give rise to the desire for sense objects such as sound and the desire for association with sons, friends, and others. Sangha. Krishna and Sangha. Raga. According to the following definitions given, Raga Trishnanga Karanam Rajaha. This is the cause of attraction between man and woman, the desire of sense object and desire for association of other person. The rajas bind the jiva by possessing those desire in his action, karma sangena, which are for the purpose of attaining woman, sense objects, and sons. He does activity with a desire for these things. These actions enable him to attain the objects, which are means for enjoying the result of action. He repeats his action, receives result, thus is not liberated from rajas. So, any questions? I know this purport is quite heavy. So, any questions? But just as I said, there will be little cutting. Okay, why not have a controlled sense gratification like sugarcane juice once a week? That's what this Grahastha ashram is. You have rajas, you cannot give rajas, so some rules and regulations are there. But even people of Kali Yuga are not able to follow that rules and regulations also of the Grahastha ashram there. So limited and controlled sense gratification is not really harmful. It is unrestrictedness of enjoyment which lead to suffering. What is the need to leave everything and rigidly control the senses? How to answer this question, which is always asked by a non-devotee in mode of. So non-devotees, this is not an answer in mode of goodness. This is answer in mode of passion only. Person who want regulated sense gratification is also in mode of passion. Goodness person doesn't want sense gratification. That's why I gave you example also there. And person in ignorance want unlimited sense gratification. With it. There. And one thing, they are bound by what do you say? See, even you say they're in goodness, regulated sense gratification. So that is what is binding them, no? Regulated sense gratification. So much sense gratification you keep doing so that you stay in the world. Why I want to do regulated sense gratification? So that I continue take cycle of birth and death. But the problem is Kali Yuga has come. Life has become very difficult. You take birth again, life may be more difficult and challenging there. And even you keep taking birth, annihilation will happen at the end of the day there. So why to take birth only and suffer in this world? When you can enjoy great bliss in Golok, Vrindavan. The bliss, Krishna says, what bliss my devotee gets, I give him my bliss. There is no bliss in sense objects. What bliss my devotee gets. There. So, like, chavanni deke bewakoof banana. So Maya Devi does that with us. So many times people will put 100 rupees note. Somebody picks up और उसकी पूरी pocket ही चोरी होगी. he saw the 100 rupees note and want to pick up the 100 rupees note, but उसकी पूरी pocket ही चली हो गई. Yes, any question on this topic? Yeah. Even you are feeling happy, you can ask, no problem. Ask question. Yes. So that is the next Saturday, and next Saturday is devoted to that only. Today we are, but I will explain. So today we are talking about the characteristic. अभी समझ में आ रहा है गुण है नहीं है करके. So anything which distracts you from Krishna is due to the guna. Anything which distracts you from Krishna is due to the guna. Even mode of goodness can distract you from Krishna. There. Even mode of ignorance can drag you. This, how Guru Padashray help in overcoming the guna. So I will take this in the next class. So please be there. This is a series of seminar. You'll find the answers in second and third seminar. Yes, Abdul Minaj.
So there are three things. One is the nature, the mode of nature, then the living entity, which is the force of the enemy, and then Paramatma. Right? And this
Yesterday you took the session, no? With tripod, yeah.
so all the discussion about because people said that the living entity does not just desiring. How does the interaction, the choice of the living entity even more effective?
Desire. Like for example, the three gunas work on your mind. Three gunas can't affect the soul. It affects the mind. So when you think I and mine, like person in goodness will think my peace. I want peace. Person in passion will think my lust, my desire. And person in ignorance will think my anger. I'm angry. So the desire came, then you are fixed in the gunas. You give up desire, there is no, or the gunas only fueling the desires there. And therefore desire is the cause.
What is the starting? So
Desire.
So the desire to associate with a particular guna.
Desire to enjoy a guna. The moment you try to enjoy the desire, enjoy something, you're caught by the guna. You don't want to enjoy it, you're not caught by the guna.
How does the desire change?
Jivas had a desire to enjoy, no? Anandmayo Bhyasa. So instead of enjoying with Krishna, he wants to enjoy like Krishna in this world. Then the desire for comes. The moment person wants to enjoy, the gunas will catch. Like Rashmukh gave example. He was in his childhood, Rashmukh was going in some place, I think Chennai, and then he saw very beautiful trousers going. Some new हाट लगी हुई थी रोड पे दुकान थी बहुत अच्छी ट्राउजर शर्ट्स थी. He went to see it. The moment he sent to see it, looking very nice, and then he was to purchase. Then he saw it is a very bad quality, but that दुकानदार catches hand. अब खरीदना पड़ेगा. So like that, first it will attract. Then you understand it's not, but you are helpless. That's what Maya Devi does. It attracts there the jiva, and the jiva wants to enjoy, and then jiva.
Part of understanding, but the desire to enjoy is a very desire. How does the differentiate that I want to associate goodness versus passion of the ignorance?
So they keep degrading. So first you will desire to enjoy and goodness, then passion, then ignorance. Like first living entity becomes Brahma. Brahma is fully in goodness, the highest there. Then slowly the living entity degrade to passion, then degrade to ignorance. Okay, Vasil to have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hey,
Prabhuji,
audio is not coming.
Hare Krishna. Not coming. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you are audible.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have a question regarding, so there are certain places which contain certain modes. Like we go to labs. So in lab, it is a lot of passion there.
Places, time of the day, food, action, people, everything is within the 3 gunas. And what we associate with the gunas. For example, the time sunlight comes, generally people don't think of doing sinful action. People generally will be drinking, womanizing, and prostitution. All will happen till 5:30 a.m. Beyond that, you won't find those because sunlight is सब सो जाते हैं. So because this goodness rises, evil things disappear. And that is why I say we should do sadhana in mode of. And passion is daytime. There you do a lot of activities. Let's say daytime you go for work because work will have passion. Now when we say goodness, passion, not a passion is bad. It is no passion, nobody do any work.
Hare Krishna, Praji.
Yes.
Praji, your voice was not properly audible.
Now the voice is coming? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, bro. Now it is clearly coming.
So the flow of thoughts. 5 a.m., the morning time is in the mode of goodness. People generally will not do sinful activity there. So while one devotee was giving Diva session, one boy got up, Prabhu, I drink even morning also. Then when he became a devotee, I asked him. He was not drinking in Brahmara time. They were a little before Brahmara time. Yes. So, this is the gunas. The gunas make a person just think a person has never drunk in life, never did it, but he comes to Bangalore, he start drinking. Influence of the people. People will sleep night home 9 o'clock, get up morning 6 o'clock. Moment they come to engineering college, they sleep 1 o'clock. The gunas change. They don't want to take bath every day. You see, engineering college, they don't take bath every day. कभी भूले से नहाते. So much of ignorance, right? How many of you seen that? So much ignorance in engineering college is there. So that gunas affect so much there. People have it there. So place, people, timings, everything. So as you said, the lab, same way, when you come to center here, how many of you say thoughts of sense gratification automatically stop when you come to temple or center? Automatically the thoughts disappear. Because we have impressions in Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, all these gunas. That environment will agitate those kind of impressions. But for a pure devotee, his impressions are purified. So he can go anywhere, still he will not desire to enjoy. Like Srila Prabhupada. He went to Heteshpuri. He went there, all boys, girls dancing and all those things. He's Paramahamsa, completely different from it. There, right? There is no gunas only to agitate. There is no impressions only to agitate. But हम लोग जाएंगे तो मारे जाएंगे. If we don't want to take a risk to go certain places and things there. So those devotees go, and come back, very there and not get affected there. So they have been quite pure from past life there. So not affected by that environment there. So the point is that environment will affect you. You go to office, it will be passionate on environment. Then you go to nightclubs, it's a mode of ignorance. And that's why if you're in goodness, you won't like it. Whatever gunas you have, then you don't like the activity of that. Like I remember, even before coming to Krishna consciousness, some नाच गाने का program is there. And my relatives will take, चलो अरे देखो मजा लो. मुझे उसमें कुछ interest ही नहीं. I feel bored in doing that. करके there. I remember sometimes people will take picture hall, but I feel bored seeing the movie in the picture hall. I not find interest only even after trying करके. So gunas, they will have their impact as a person is born in there. But now you see, we're not able to think of Krishna. Why? Because we have been associated with mode of passion. To think of Krishna in mode of passion becomes difficult. Even chanting 16 nouns, how much time I'm able to think of Krishna? Because the influence of Guna is so strong there. And in Shuddha Sattva, thinking of Krishna becomes very natural. That's if you think of Krishna, automatically rise to Shuddha Sattva. There. Okay, let's go ahead. I know a lot of questions are coming. Let's go ahead there. Right? There's no end. This gunas, but are you finding helpful? अब समझ में आ रहा है कि कौन सा गुण कितना कहाँ पर क्या है? अभी अभी तक तमोगुण बचा है, पहले तमोगुण के बारे में जाने थे। तो तमस्तु अज्ञानः जम विद्धि मोहनम सर्व देहिनाम प्रमाद आलस्य निद्रा भी तम निर्नाति भारत। तो अज्ञान जम विधि तमस ignorance is born of अज्ञान ignorance मोहनम सर्व देहिनाम. See, two types of people are happy. One who's a pure devotee and one who's a fool. They don't have tension. Ignorance and goodness look similar. Pramad. So what is the saying? Pramad. Madness. Alasya. Indolence. Nidra. Sleep. Tanidhati. The result of this mode of madness, indolence, and sleep. So even anger, envy. Anger is in which mode? Ignorance. Lust is in passion. Anger is in ignorance. See, lust is about you want to satisfy your senses. Anger means you harm other people. So when you harm somebody, you violent to somebody, your action is harming somebody, you want to desire to harm somebody, it's ignorance. But when you want to gain something, that is passion. And when you are in equilibrium, not want good for you, means enjoy yourself and harm others, that is goodness. It feels so kindly. So harming others is not in passion, is in ignorance. Fault finding is in which mode? If a fault find with devotees, ignorance will increase. By fault finding with devotees, same way when you chastise devotees, your ignorance will increase. You're not able to chant. Some way or other, sleep will engross you. It happen automatically there. So, whole passion ignorance bhakti is due to offenses. See, because of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, we commit offenses. And due to offenses, then bhakti stop acting. And then we continue in Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So it's important that our Rajogun, Tamogun doesn't cause offenses. So there you have to check. And when Rajogun, Tamogun doesn't cause offenses, then bhakti will elevate you. And you will come out to Rajogun, Tamogun. So mode of ignorance is very peculiar qualification of embodied soul. It's just the opposite of mode of goodness. In mode of goodness, development and knowledge, one understands what is what. Ignorance, one understands opposite. What is not to be done should be done. And what is done should not be done. Like today's thing there. Drinking is glorified. If you go to Indian college, drinking is glorified. Chanting Hare Krishna is criticized. This mode of what is to be done is criticized. What is not to be done is glorified. That is called mode of live in relationship to be criticized, but it is glorified. Now voice is audible, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. I think we should do mode index now to identify which mode you are in. So take your paper and pen. I hope you brought some paper, pen, something. So this is the matrix there. I'll put the sheet probably in the Bhakti Shastri group also there. So now what you write, make a table, GPI like this. Yeah. So you keep writing. So total Or even on a pen, what you do, I'll tell one thing, so you write. So for ignorance, write I, for passion, write P, for goodness, write G, and keep counting at the end. Okay. So total, so how much hours you sleep? If you sleep 6.5 to 8 or more than 7 hours you sleep, it's ignorance. If you sleep less than 6 hours, less than 5 hours is passion. If you sleep between 5 to 7 hours, that is goodness. So right. So if according to your sleep, right, and you say sometimes you sleep 3 hours, sometimes 9, that is highly in ignorance, is in passion. Also. So write GPI accordingly. This first element. The nature of interaction with others. Irritating, miserable, or joyful. Okay, screen share, I'm not done. So your interaction with others is irritating, miserable, or joyful. So in ignorance, it is irritating. Passion, it is miserable. In goodness, it is joyful. Then japa performance is sleepy, mind wandering, or peaceful hearing. So keep giving there. Then we will count. At the end, we'll count how many goodness, how many passion, how many ignorance. Then you can calculate the percentage. Achha, ignorance is also required. If ignorance is not there, you're not able to sleep also in the night. You'll get insomnia. If passion is not there, you're not able to do any work. So everything has their use. That's what all the three gunas are there. In the mind, you feel fearful, full of mental desire, insecurity, what will happen, job chala jayega, ye ho jayega, wo ho jayega. Mental desires. Or if I'm marrying, marriage may not work. If I'm doing this, always fearful in the mind. That's ignorance. Mental desires is passion. I will enjoy like this. And goodness. So I have to do my duty. Then ignorance means driven by madness. Passion means fruitive action. मुझे क्या मिलेगा? And goodness means driven by knowledge. You are attached to inactivity. कुछ ना करने को तो लाइफ अच्छी लगती है. You are attached to desire. See, person in mode of ignorance is irresponsible and detached. उसको कोई responsibility लेना अच्छी लगता है, वो detached भी है. So sometimes goodness may look like ignorance, but ignorance may look like goodness also. He is very detached, Prabhu, but he may be detached in ignorance, irresponsible and detached. Person in passion is responsible but attached. Person in goodness responsible but detached. So first you have from rise from ignorance to passion. Take some responsibility. Okay, you're attached, no problem. Slowly by bhakti, that attachment will be purified. Then you come to goodness, responsible but detached. जैसे होता है कोई काम नहीं कर रहे थे, शादी करा दो, अभी थोड़ा व्यक्ति काम करने लग जाएगा. Right? He'll start taking responsibility. To come out of ignorance, you have to go to passion. You heard people say that? अब इसकी शादी करा दी, now wife will take care. The person works hard, he doesn't remain in ignorance. And then as person keep doing beautiful work with the scriptures, then he come to goodness. And goodness, he does activities. He is concerned about his duty, then the results. While getting up in the morning, heavy head and eye-opening difficulty. Passion, hasty awakening. Goodness, brisk body and mind. So keep writing GPI. You're writing? All Bhakti Shastri wrote it, I'll take the data. This is one of the OBs. So do it nicely. Okay. Lover of unclean and untidy surroundings. He never wants to clean his room. Other clean it, it's good, but I will not clean my room. I will not clean my room. Others clean is fine. No time to look around only. Prabhu, ganda hai, pata hi nahi laga. For 1 month, one room was dirty. And that day I had to sleep that room. Then it became clean. No time to Look around. So goodness means clean and tidy. So like to not know the reasons behind an act. Passion means collect a lot of data, lot of books, but no time to read. And goodness means do things after knowing why to do. Food likings, tasteless, stale, burnt chapatis. I know some people, उन्हें कुछ अगर फ्रिज का रखा हुआ पिछले दिन का है ना वो बहुत ज्यादा टेस्टी लगता है. Salty, bitter, hot, piping hot. No, so much chili should be there, tears should come. Then juicy and wholesome food. It's come in the 17th chapter. So you're writing, right? GPI, you're counting, right? Sacrificing some dear objects out of fear of something for material benefits in return as a matter of duty. This is charity in mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. Interested in injuring and criticizing others. किसी को मारने को मिल रहा है, किसी को बस फीडबैक देने को मिल रहा है. अभी गलती क्या ना प्रभु को अभी बैठ के पूरा सुना दी. And you feel great joy in doing it. You feel great joy in catching others' mistakes. How many feel great joy in catching others' mistakes? That's what it is. Injuring to another. Then puja, naam and pratishtha. Prabhu, I distributed 100 books, but nobody glorified him. Nobody made an announcement also. One time it happened, we were announcing book distribution score. And during the time one devotee book distribution score to announce, कुछ तो mic हट गया. Mic didn't work. His score was not announced. Exactly that point. And then mic again started working. And after that announcement, he was angry, Prabhu, मेरा नाम announce नहीं. Helping others by extending oneself and movements. Stepping up on others without proper hitting, dashing others. Look before leap, step, walk, etc. Inaction, very slow. Too fast and unsteady. Slow and steady. Overeating is in mode of ignorance. Undereating, mode of passion. He's so activity that he has no time to eat. And moderate eating, goodness. So undereating is also not in goodness. Eat moderately. Yuktahara viharas. Yukt karmasya chesh. Then enthusiasm, no enthusiasm. Then post Bhagavatam enthusiasm, post morning program enthusiasm. अभी chanting हो गया, now I'm enthusiastic. And morning program enthusiasm. Enthusiasm in chanting is mode of goodness. Then sadhana score. Not filling the sadhana scores only. Always failing. Sometime passing, else failing. Always passing. Performance, hardly any output. Overloaded. Optimum output. Proper book reading. 2 to 3 hours per week. Or no book reading. 4 to 5 hours at the weekend. Mode of passion. Daily 1 hour or regulated. Washing bead bag, bedding chaddars once in 6 months. Mode of ignorance. Haphazard, kabhi bhi kiya, mode of passion. And once in 1 to 3 months, mode of goodness. Feedback by others. What others say about you. He's always lazy, sleepy, sick. Is too hyperactive or is regulated. 16 nouns after 5 p.m. Fluctuating by 10 a.m. Bhagavatam class reaching quite late or sometime missing. This is more for a voice scenario. Congregation you can't apply as it is because they have their challenges. But many devotees here online today also. Right? So Bhagavatam class reaching quite late or sometime missing. Running for minutes. Punctual since interest in hearing. Frequent occurrence of forgetfulness of services. Crash landing. Successful outcome of services. Nails cutting once in 5-6 weeks. Habits. Putting fingers in nostrils. Appropriate in public, not otherwise. Public में बहुत अच्छा बनेंगे, पीछे कुछ भी करेंगे. Ideal. State of the mind, laziness, ambitious, satisfied. Thoughts, cruel, aggressive, compassionate. When alone, sleep overpowers. When alone, lust overpowers. When alone, he wants to read here and plan something. Is mode of goodness. Nature, Vaishya type. Passion, Kshatriya type. Goodness, Brahmin type. Austerity, aversion. Is selfish agenda to show off? Natural. He doesn't want to do any austerity. Mode of ignorance. Show off के लिए करेंगे, that is passion. And austerity is natural, is there. Natural inclination, wasting things and money. Lavishly spending and living. Simple living. Right? So these are 32 items which are in mode of 3 modes. Now you count each one of these items. Right? You count now each of these items and then divide it by 32. उसका percentage निकालो. So then you will get it how much goodness percentage, how much passion, how much ignorance. There. And then accordingly you can work how to have these items to reach to mode of goodness. So today we're just seeing characters. So many items we saw, isn't it? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, very amazing point is in life you should cultivate satoguna. Enrich goodness, curb, diminish passion, and curb ignorance. No, sorry, curb passion and diminish ignorance. Ignorance को हटा दो because ignorance will give you misery. Passion को curb करो means use it in the right way and enrich goodness there. So if you have passion, you shouldn't have worry. Right? Now we talk about that attraction for opposite gender is a sign of mode of passion. But one good news, Prabhupada says, more you have lust, more you have love for Krishna. Only thing you have to convert that lust into love. So devotee shouldn't worry, oh, I have so much of lust in my heart. I have so much material desires in my heart. There. Don't worry. Use it for serving Krishna. And that's what Prabhupada exploited. He used the passion of all Americans to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. There. So in bhakti, everything you can use in Krishna's service. Even your passion also, you're very passionate, no problem. You have more chance to serve Krishna and convert that lust into love. Go out for book distribution, hours together. All passion will be sublimated to love there. So that's the beauty that by engaging our passion serving Krishna, we can attain transcendence, love for Krishna, under the guidance of devotees there. So devotee does not worry. So whether your ignorance, passion, goodness, everything is Krishna's energy, right? So you should be using Krishna's service. When you use it in Krishna's service, it gets purified. There. Okay, it's 8:56. So I think I could cover only little of one portion. But we'll see next week also. There. I hope you enjoyed the session. There. Okay, so few questions now we'll take at the end. And then 9 o'clock we have Guru Puja. When talk about affection, mode, passion, man and woman, then what is the way train more mode of goodness ourselves for the future? We can't identify which mode affected. What should we do? Train source. Yeah, how to come passion means chant Hare Krishna. Without offenses, it will sublimate passion into goodness. Most of the time, I feel satisfied in life in terms of material life and spiritual life. So it's considered to be ignorance or desire for improving doesn't come. No, if you're doing your duty, it is not ignorance. If you're running away from duty, then it is ignorance. Get the point, Ashish Prabhu? If you're running from the duty, then it is ignorance. There.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, what is the difference between thought process of a person, mode of goodness and mode of... See, mode of passion is very attracted toward money. Money is honey. The person mode of goodness doesn't work for money. Like I was giving example of, Somnath sir. He could have 1 crore and thing, but he's satisfied with doing his research work and thing. They're not hankering after money. Okay, youth preachers conduct so many camps and programs, but why do they do? To share Krishna Katha. If Krishna Katha is happening, then all gunas becomes transcendental. So therefore, more camps you do and more Hari Katha you do, that is the best way to rise to the gunas. Passion is used for conducting. See, that's the beauty of doing management. If you do management for Hari Katha, that management is also spiritual. You utilize your passion, but what is the result of that passion? Hari Katha is happening, transcendence is increased. And that's why we should do more and more management services. So that Hari Katha can happen more. So we should do more management for what? So more glorification of the Lord can happen. And that passion will be purified by that management. So 8 hours of book distribution. See, passion, when you go to book distribution, naturally you require passion, right? Passion नहीं होगा तो जोर से बोलोगे कैसे? Passion नहीं होगा तो आप चिल्लाओगे कैसे? Book ले लो तो passion चाहिए. But because you're thinking of Krishna while distributing books, you're taking name of Krishna. Krishna की गीता ले लो. You're talking about a philosophy to people, and you're serving Srila Prabhupada, then that passion is converted to transcendence, into love for Krishna. Yeah. How Guru Padashray helps to come out of the gunas. We'll see from the seventh canto. Seventh canto, 15th chapter talks about how one, by different ways, one can rise to goodness. But if one so faithfully serves the spiritual master, one can very easily rise to goodness. It's a very simple way to rise to mode of goodness by faithfully serving the spiritual master. And what is the first principle in spiritual life? Guru Pad. Then the bhakti begins. Then the mode of goodness begins. Yes. Any one or two questions? Any Mataji? Yes. Mic de do Mataji. Mic de. Suresh Prabhu.
As you explained, the what is made as passion, but for Krishna, it is transcendental.
It becomes transcendental.
Transcendental. So the are in Sattva, but that is also used for Krishna is transcendental. Out of 3 months, becomes different altogether. So why do we continue to say that rise to Sattva, rise to Sattva? But sometimes it is needed.
It's a little confusing, right there. See, general thing is you should rise to sattva. But now I have a passion. What should I do? I keep beating. Oh, I have passion. I have passion. I have passion. And I die guilt of myself. I have passion. Then engage passion in service to Krishna. That will transform into goodness and pure goodness. So by engaging, also you're rising to goodness only, no? But because you are doing Krishna consciousness, it won't stop at goodness. It will rise to even pure goodness. That's the point there. So pure goodness. But it doesn't mean that you have to come to goodness, then only you can begin Krishna consciousness. Even in passion, use your passion to serve Krishna. Are you getting my point? So you don't have to feel, I am so much passion. अरे passion है तो थोड़ा करो, जाओ सेवा करो थोड़ा. जाके किचन में सेवा करो, वेसल वॉश करो, बाहर जाओ, बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करो, प्रीचिंग करो, सब पैशन मेल्ट हो जाएगा करके. Right? So that is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Karke. Read Prabhupada books regularly. Then everything will elevate. That's the whole point. Okay, Suresh Rao. False enthusiasm or high enthusiasm. See, Utsaha Nishya Dhairya. So enthusiasm with patience and determination is in goodness. But enthusiasm without patience or without determination may be in passion and ignorance.
One more question, Prabhu. Introvert and extrovert. Is there any relationship for the two modes of mental?
The extrovert generally will be in passion. And introvert generally will have a thing of ignorance. This is the field opening up. But goodness person will have a balance of introvertishness and extrovertishness. Goodness person also could be introvert. But when required, he will speak. He will not have a fear. If I speak, what will happen? His nature may be introvert, but he'll speak when required. But introvert person will not speak only out of fear. Same way, extrovert person वो बोलता रहेगा चाहे require या नहीं require. Goodness person will require, then only will speak. Though his nature may be extrovert, but he'll show the extrovertness only if it is beneficial. Satya Piryam Hitam. So therefore, we pay Mansa Kalpa Taruvesa, keeping obeisance to devotees. So गलती से भी अपराध हो गया तो माफ हो जाएगा.
I wanted to ask, like, one aspect of, like, for example, if my mother said to me by giving my room so unfair. So will that ignorance will affect my aspect of harming others? Like, my impression of living in dirty places is increasing. That will reflect on my harming others and that. So must be.
See, when you're keeping a place dirty, the naturally mode of ignorance is increasing. Then you will not get taste in reading proper books, taste in chanting. These activities become difficult. So better clean your place. And even anything you will do in that place, you will feel sleepy.
Is that one aspect of ignorance is like reflecting on another aspect of it? Like so many aspects, people aspects to it so much.
Huh.
So
Yeah, yes. See, if you rise to sattva, then naturally all other items also you will like to do in sattva. If you rise, like I'll take example. When I was in my second year, I used to sleep a lot in japa. One day I chanted nicely. As a result, I cleaned the whole voice. Because I chanted nicely, I couldn't tolerate the voice was unclean. Other days I was not feeling only voice was unclean. But one day I chanted nicely, so due to that chanting nicely, I was feeling how it could be dirty. I cleaned the whole voice only that day. So just by chanting, your gunas change very fast. Get a point? So when you rise to sattva, it will reflect in all other factors. Okay, so I think, okay, last question of Abhay Prabhuji. Any comments or corrections you want to give, Prabhuji?
comments about program. As you are saying, that you can see the difference if someone is some devotees always active throughout the lecture that she has overcome all the enigmas. You said, what Charya
Some creatures you find, they're like happy, blissful, jolly.
So one name of the devotee is Krishna Prabhu.
You're not feeling for long. It may be appearing because you're not seeing me for a long time. Devotees who deal with me regular basis, they know. They have a lot of fear also sometimes.
Prabhupada says one grain of rice is also how is the situation. जैसे आपने बताया तो कि this ignorance person they also have their role. So if a pure devotee encourages a pure devotee, he is above reaching to pure goodness. So he has to engage in some activities that require passion, for example. So would that passion be?
Yeah, he will utilize the passion in service of Krishna. Like ignorance in sleeping, passion in doing hard work. Sometimes pure devotees may be chastise also his disciple. So he's utilizing mode of ignorance in service to Krishna. Like Prabhupada became angry many a times, very, very angry. Is Prabhupada conquered by anger? No. Prabhupada used mode of ignorance in service of Krishna for uplifting the disciples. And Prabhupada disciples still remember, oh, Prabhupada became angry upon us. It was great mercy. Are you getting the point? So great souls can use the lower gunas in service of Krishna. But when we try to use, we get exhausted. We get used. No, then he should come in, he has to first come in passion, take responsibility. There. So ignorance person has to take responsibility. Then ignorance will leave him. Then slowly passion will come to goodness. There. Ignorance वाला directly goodness में आएगा तो सो जाएगा goodness में आते ही. तो goodness में आना उसको मुश्किल होगा. So ignorance वाले को पहले पैशन में डालना पड़ेगा, फिर पैशन वाले को रीडिंग हेयरिंग प्रोग्राम में डालना पड़ेगा, फिर उससे गुडनेस में आएगा, फिर गुडनेस वाले को शुद्ध भक्ति में डालना पड़ेगा, तब प्योर गुडनेस में आएगा. सो इट्स अ ट्रांजिशन. आप इग्नोरेंस वाले को रीडिंग हेयरिंग प्रोग्राम में डाल दो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. That's why we should take a lot of responsibility to purify our ignorance. Along with responsibility, we should do good amount of Bhakti Shastri, Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, understand them, to rise to Sattva. And then in Sattva, when you hear Krishna Lila, that will transcend you to Shuddha Sattva. And you feel blissful. Mat Gunshati Matrena. Just hearing Krishna Lila, you'll go into another abode of bliss. That will happen. So it's a journey, transition journey to come to there. Now sometimes, because when we try to directly jump to pure goodness and we are in ignorance, then we feel little, oh, mera kya hoga? No, that's why you need to rise at that level from ignorance to passion. If you're at passion, then you need practices which take you to goodness. And when you're goodness, you need practices which take you to pure goodness. You need a transition. You need a transition.
मेरा प्रश्न ये था कि जो मान लीजिए और उसको पूरी सेवा की क्या है कि उसकी बड़े रूप की सेवा और उनकी वो और वो सबको लगे तो कारण के बाद तो भक्तिपूर्वक सेवा करता है वो भक्तिपूर्वक से वो करवा सकता है. तो ऐसी परिस्थिति में क्या करें सेवा को बना के सेवा करते
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. जी, पहली बात, अगर किसी में सत्वा है तो रजोगुण वाला सेवा कर ही नहीं पाएगा. अगर उसमें रजोगुण नहीं है तो सेवा नहीं कर पाएगा. और अगर वो सेवा करता भी तो बाइंड नहीं होगा, क्योंकि देखिए, जब तक आप आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करते हो, गुण आपको पकड़ते नहीं है. जब आप गुणों में एंजॉय करना चाहते हो तब गुण आपको पकड़ते हैं. जब आप सेवा के भाव से करते हैं, गुण आपको नहीं पकड़ते. क्यों? जीवे स्वरूप है कृष्णेरा नित्यदास. So where is the bondage? I and mind. So when you're doing a passionate activity, you think you're doing for your pleasure, then mode of passion will bind you. But if you think you're doing for God, Guru's pleasure, it will not bind you. That is why if you see, then the sannyasis won't touch money. The Prabhupada had photo, give all money, I will using Krishna's service. The Prabhupada very clear, everything is for Krishna's pleasure, I'm using. So Rajaguna never touched Prabhupada. There. The same way, if a devotee is advanced enough, advanced devotee can do Rajaguni activities for pleasure of his Guru and he will not captured by the Gunas. There. But devotee is not advanced, then he will be captured. There. Are you getting point? So therefore, along with Rajaguni services, we should keep hearing Guru Vani, keep reading Bhagavatam, so that we don't try to enjoy the Rajaguna, but rather do it as a seva. Then we will not be bound. Like Hanumanji. Hanumanji has gone to find Mother Sita in Lanka. Now he is in Lanka and Ravana's bedstead is there. Now Ravana के साथ में सारी most beautiful women are there, half dressed, naked and thing. And Hanumanji is there. He's thinking, I'm a brahmachari, what am I doing? कि कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं है. No. I'm here only doing service. So I'm not bound. But one should be advanced like Hanuman to do that kind of stuff. Are you getting point? So according to our advancement, we're able to handle the Rajaguna. That's all. So if you given the service is given by the spiritual master and Rajaguna, so first of all, you have to see how much damage can it do. Are you advanced enough? You don't have a past record of falling in those situations. There, if you have, you express it. Okay, Prabhu, if you put me in this situation, it will be difficult for me to practice bhakti. So you can express it there. Then second thing, if you're feeling, then you should improve your sadhana. take shelter of proper books, hearing of Bhagavatam. So that will mitigate the religion. So that would I put as a balanced answer. But answer could be given based on a situation. Right? Thank you. All right. Okay, so I think we end here. Shri Prabhupada ki. Jai. Sorry, I extended it. I hope somebody took the attendance. Who took the attendance? Arun Rambakul took attendance? Physical attendance, anybody took? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Put it in the admin bell. Hare Krishna. So what example I was giving, Somnath sir, no?